I don't necessarily have a goal to be like the best harmonica player, the guitar player, or anything. It's like I just want to write really good songs.
How close are you to your ideal sound?
Oh man, it's hard. I don't know what these songs are about a lot of the time.
That's the one that Joel brought up to me yesterday.
Like, are we gonna like practice that stuff? And they're like, oh yeah, we'll practice. We did not practice.
Anyone who's never been to a J-Rad Cooley show before, what can they expect to see?
Oh.
Welcome to the Reno Live podcast. My name is Joel,
My name is Brian.
and we have with us a special guest, J-Rad Cooley, all the way from Salt Lake City.
How y'all doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in. You have a newish single,
Yeah,
Good
I
Man
just,
from Reno.
Yeah, just put out a song. It was funny. I booked the Reno tour already. I had it, and then I wrote the song, and I thought, is it too soon to put it out? I just wrote it, but I was like, it'd be silly to put it out any other time. We're kind of doing like a Reno marathon, so you know.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
Yeah, I thought it would be a good idea.
So tell us just a little bit about yourself, your music journey, and kind of how what got you into this.
I mean, so my brother, he played guitar when I was young. Well, I was about 13, I think, when I took interest to it. My mom had one laying around. I, picked it up and started playing that. So I started about 13 on the guitar, and about 15, I picked up harmonica and piano. And I think by 16 years old, I was like, played my first show, and I did that for a while with my first band. It was like kind of all the friends I grew up with, I grew up skateboarding actually. So I met them all at the skate park, and then they started playing music and I kind of did. And then we're like, man, we should play together, and kind of started a band like that and started playing since I was 16. And I mean, ever since then, really, I've wanted to do it kind of honestly since like 14, I think. That was when I was like, I think this is what I want to do for my life, and then yeah, ever since it just spiraled, kept going.
Nice. So you're on a little bit of a tour,
Yeah.
playing some shows in Reno. As far as your records go, your first album called Yard Sale came out 2022, I believe, a couple years ago.
So yeah.
Yeah. What has this whole process been with you? Like getting into recording and then into touring and just that whole process.
First album, Yard Sale, like I gotta thank my buddy Tony Holiday, because he produced that album for me actually, and I was trying to put out music, but I think he kind of put me on the path to do it a little sooner than I probably would have on my own, because I sent him like a recording just from that I recorded on my own, at my studio. I was just kind of learning how to record, and I was like, yo, check it out. I recorded some stuff in my living room or whatever, and he was like, messaged me back, and was like, man, that's a really good album, really good song, like, can I produce an album for you, and he lived in Memphis at the time. I was in Utah. I was like, is this a joke? Like, you want to produce an album for me? What? And yeah, I made the drive out. He's like, if you pay for the studio time, I'll pay for these real nice studio musicians, out here in Tennessee. It was closer to Nashville, in a town called Hendersonville, where we recorded that. And it actually used to be Old Crow Medicine Show's like studio, and they like sold it to this guy, Zach Kasich, and it's Wild Feather Recordings now is what it's called.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was kind of a cool process, that whole Yard Sale album,
Yeah.
So how would you describe your genre? Like, are you like one genre? Are you multiple? Do you have like your own name for it?
I mean, for a while I was telling people just roots music, because we do a lot of different stuff. We do country, we do blues, we do some folk kind of stuff. We do a lot of jazz even lately. So, I mean, it was kind of hard to I just said roots music, but usually I say that, people are like, what is roots music? I'm like, it's a mix of all the music, all the old stuff. But lately I've just been telling people country blues. That's simple enough. I think the simpler the better, It's like people know what country is, they know what blues is.
Right,
they can mix
them together.
Yeah.
Because I even noticed with your last few releases, with the single "The Good Man from Reno," and then what was the other release with 3 tracks again?
It was "Take What You Can."
Mm-hmm. Even just between those ones, there was quite a
much different sound.
Yeah.
The "Take What You Can," the 3-song EP, that's probably some of the most different stuff we've done. I was almost, because we've always made like kind of older sounding music. I thought it would be fun to try, like, I can make something new sounding too. I want to prove, like, I wanted to do it. It was fun for me too. It wasn't
Right.
just to like prove to other people. It's like I wanted to prove to myself that I could get somewhat of a modern sound too, I guess, if I wanted.
How close are you to your ideal sound?
Oh, I'm getting closer and closer, I think. I try not to think about it too much. I mean,
Yeah.
I have specific things, like I'll write some of the 3-piece harmonies or whatever in our band, and sometimes I'll have guitar parts written out, but I really do try to let people kind of add their own flavor on it,
Sure.
especially more nowadays, because I've gone through a lot of band members, but now I got just such a good band, and they're just all so good that I just, like, if anything, they're adding stuff to my songs, like writing stuff in there now, and I'm like, please do it. Like, you guys are all so good,
Do you have any songs that you've written that you thought you held off putting out, or that you still have in your back pocket, where you're like, I don't know if my fans would know that this is J-Rad Cooley?
I definitely have some like that. I mean, that Take What You Can, that EP, even just that song on there, Take What You Can. Like, I was like, this might throw people off because it's so much different than everything I've done. But I was like, I don't care. Like, there's got to be some people are gonna like it, and I think if people are trying to do all sorts of different genres, like, go for it,
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
As an artist or as a producer, I feel like you always have that idea in your head,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you don't reach the target. But in the process, maybe you discover something that is even better.
Yeah,
But you're always kind of trying to chase a certain sound
Yeah.
or a certain
totally.
vibe.
I think you're always, you're trying to chase some kind of sound or vibe, and most of the time it turns out a little different than I was
Right.
expecting, but
pretty
and
much all
it's-
the time.
Yeah,
I think.
almost every time, and it's in a good way though,
Right.
It's always
Right. And
it's always a
that's-
pleaser.
I guess that's the part of the art.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can, with any medium, it's going to be the same thing.
Like, let it go where it goes sometimes.
Right.
Like, I paint pictures sometimes too, and it's just like, you mess up. It's like, no, I didn't mess up. I'm gonna use that to my advantage. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's
Right.
it's kind of like jazz. Like Miles Davis says, it's not a wrong note until the notes after it determine, whether
Sure,
that was a
sure.
wrong note or not.
Right. Right. What have you learned about the sort of the health of the genre? Using that term pretty broadly, but like you said, roots music,
Mm.
country blues, not incredibly mainstream.
Yeah. Like the health as in like how well those kind of genres are doing in today's.
What's the interest from listeners, and I don't know, just your experience, having been in that world for a while.
I mean, so like where I'm from, Salt Lake City, Utah, there's not a whole lot of blues and country. Like, there are some bands that do that, but it's not like, you go to Nashville, they're just everywhere. Every
Right.
bar you go to, there's
Yeah.
just live music. And same with Memphis. I spent a lot of time in Memphis. I almost moved there, but my girlfriend didn't want to. So like,
It's a little important.
it's kind of a rough town, like I don't know, I'd walk down streets there and look at my GPS and be like, go down this street, and look down and I'm like, I'm not going down that street. Are you kidding me? Like, there's a house with 2x4s for windows and just like a crazy guy that I think like lives there too. Like, I don't know, just like not good neighborhoods. Like, I don't know. And it's sad. Like, I wish that town would just put more effort in. I don't know. It's like the city is it's a poverty city, and but it's such a historical place, and the music that's why I love it. I love the music history there,
Right.
Yeah, it's really rich. So,
Mm-hmm.
coming from Salt Lake City, how's the music scene like over there?
It is. I mean, I shouldn't say it's like there isn't a music scene. There's a music scene. It's just smaller, than other places. Like, it's not a music city by any means, I wouldn't
Okay.
say, but it's growing, over time. It's just I think it'll be years before it, developed into something like Memphis or Nashville, or Texas, where you go and it's just a big music cities. Like,
yeah.
maybe one day, probably not in my lifetime, but there's some really good bands there. Like, there's my buddy's band Triggers and Slips, and they're really good, kind of Western honky tonk sound. There's Slow Potion, who a couple of those guys, they play in my band too, and they got like the whole 3-piece horn section and everything.
Yeah.
And they're awesome.
So, if you had to define a genre for Salt Lake City, is it kind of country, bluegrass, roots?
There's everything, like there's a big punk scene, I guess, but I don't know much about it because I'm just not in that circle,
Right,
I guess. But there's like this whole bluegrass circle even now, and there's kind of this it's called the Trash Moon Collective actually, and they're like they're really doing a lot. Like they just started an Instagram and they're just they're like getting these little like sessions together, like teaching people how to play bluegrass, and like tons of people are coming out to them and never touched an instrument in their life, and then pick up the banjo or the fiddle or something and start learning, and it's really cool that they're doing that. And then it's called Trash Moon Collective. Yeah,
okay, that's cool. I first off, there's actually a punk scene here too.
Yeah, there is.
That's probably the biggest.
There's a lot of underground
genre of music.
I hear it's
trying
big
to bring
in-
them out.
I grew up in Southern California. There's a big traditional music scene down there that we were part of for a long time, and just recently, like in the last year, I've run across on social media. I've run across some reels like with hardly any views, but these guys in Japan playing very American bluegrass.
Yeah,
and, like really well.
Oh, I've seen some of that. Yeah,
have you run across that?
Yeah, totally.
And they're amazing.
Yeah,
the
like
musicianship
really
is-
good.
and that was really cool to see.
Well, and I wonder, it makes me like I haven't been over there, but it makes me wonder if that's just like it's probably maybe a little more mind blowing over there because maybe they don't get it so much, So
Right.
they hear that style. It's like when you come to America, I feel like you can hear that kind of sound in a lot of places, But then
Right.
I don't know, and I don't want to say they don't have it over there, but it's like I've never been, but
Right. I mean, I don't know why there would be much of it over there. I
Yeah,
think,
right.
But it's just it was an interesting,
it's probably a little more of like a shock to see it there, right?
which is really cool, kind of seeing that because that's
Yeah.
it's a very American
Right.
genre.
Totally.
I wanted to go back a little bit to some of your production and some of your songs. I've noticed listening to it, the things that have stood out to me are piano and backing vocals. I've really liked the sound and the production of it.
Thank you
Is
very
there-
much.
How what can you speak to as far as that goes? And
I mean, the piano, let's see. My first album, I did like most of the piano, but the stuff you're probably impressed with, that's probably Victor Wainwright. He's Grammy nominated. He lives in Memphis. He's like wins blues awards all. Like when I was there hanging out at his house, he just like got a blues award at his house, like best BB King entertainer of the year. And he's like, "Oh, cool." I'm like, "Who the hell
like he
is this
received it when you were there.
Yeah, it just showed up in the mail. I was like, wow, okay. Like, this guy's
How
playing on
often
my
does that
album? Okay. Because Tony Holiday, who produced it, he was really good buddies with Victor Wainwright. And, he was like, we're going to get him on your album,
Nice. Yeah, and I noticed I really appreciate. I liked the harmonization and the background vocals.
Thank you. I do write most of those parts. I have like the harmony section. I don't have the full harmony section coming, unfortunately, on Wednesday, but I do have one background singer coming to do some stuff like that with me. But yeah, I have a lot of fun writing that stuff. It's like I think I've learned a lot about harmonizing with my voice, like from the piano specifically.
Yeah.
That's something that definitely helped me
Sure.
like be a better singer, and like also I'm more like aware of what notes I'm singing or whatever.
Sure.
When I'm writing a 3-piece part.
Right. I guess we should ask this being Reno Live, but what did inspire the Good Man from Reno song?
Oh man, it's hard. I don't know what these songs are about a lot of the time. I just write them, but like, so I mean, I wrote it. My buddy he was living in Reno actually, and he just moved back to recently to Salt Lake. But I wrote the song, and the Good Man from Reno. He's not from Reno. He's from Utah. But I just like kind of did have him in mind with that line, and I sent him the song, and then he's like, "Dude, I'm moving back," and I was like, but I was like, well. That makes more sense because like the song says, if everybody started to cry when the Good Man from Reno says goodbye. So I was like, all right, well, all right, it makes sense,
Yeah. My favorite. Do you have a favorite lyric of anything that you've written?
Oh man, I don't know. Probably. I mean, right now I am stoked on that song. I guess
Yeah.
The Good Man from Reno. There's a line or something that says, "Lived inside an old dirty shack. Everybody's getting high, but nobody's learned how to fly."
Yeah,
Or something like that.
That's the one
I
that
was
Joel
literally
brought up
telling
to
him
me
that.
yesterday.
Yeah, that
Tell
one
him
for
that
me
one.
because to me, like and that's my buddy Chandler actually, who lived out here in Reno. I used to, when I was like 14, 15, I kind of like lived in his shack for a while, and just like some of my parents, we don't need to get into that, but they weren't around, and I was living in his shack, and they taught me how to play music, and I threw that line in there, and I had him in mind too, you know, and he was really stoked on that. He's like, dude, the Shack, man, and we all, you know, started playing music and smoking in there and stuff, and
yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
that
that
was a good
line.
line.
I was telling him.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Thank you.
No one learning to fly.
Nobody.
What everyone's
So
there
get
was-
high, but
There's one question I wanted to ask you. Well, looking back on your Instagram reels and on your videos, where did the standing on the shoulders or sitting on the shoulders of your bandmates come from? That's pretty impressive.
all right, so we'll have to go into the Bar J Bar. Joey Berglund, I was telling you guys we'll have to interview him sometime. I went on tour with him. That's his thing. Like, I mean,
Okay.
I say it's his thing, but then I ask him, I'm like, where did you get it? And he's like, me and this band Water Tower, who they're really cool too.
I know Water Tower.
You know Water Tower. They've probably been through
I
here,
don't know.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
Kenny,
I know Water
you've
Tower.
met Kenny probably, the singer. You've probably met him.
Okay.
If you know Water Tower. But anyways, yeah, like he said that him, Bar J Bar and Water Tower, they kind of started doing that. And I was like, where did you guys get it? And he's like, and this came from some actual like famous musician who's hot shot or something. And they said he wouldn't do it while he was playing, but he would have some guy bring him out on the stage as his like stage introduction. He'd come out on a guy's shoulders and then he'd put him down and he'd start ripping or whatever, you know. But so that's where they got it from. And you know, I went on that tour with Bar J. It was my first tour with him actually. And we just started doing it, you know, and I asked him when I didn't really know those guys. I had met Bar J one time actually in Salt Lake City. He was touring through. Like I was essentially a fan, went to one of his shows and played harmonica with him for a show, and he was like, I want to bring you on tour, you know, and then I did that. And the shoulder thing too was funny. Like I didn't know those guys. I got in the van off the airport and I was like, are we going to like practice that stuff? And they're like, oh yeah, we'll practice. We did not practice. They're just like, get up, dude. I was like,
Just
okay.
wing it.
Yeah, I got Jordan Harms, the drummer on that tour. He's 6'6". I got him up on my shoulders a couple of those gigs. My back really hurt after the last one. I was like, I don't know if I can do it again, man. But I don't weigh much. I'm really easy to get up there. So
Nice.
Is that a J-Rad Cooley special or a staple of your show? Like
no. I mean, so like I said, like that's Bar J Bar's thing. That's kind of his thing, and I kind of do it. I've done it a few times since that tour as just kind of like a wink at him almost, and like it inspired me, you know. Like I don't want to steal his moves, but he's straight up says, he's like, not my move, man. Like you can do whatever you want at your show, and it's like, all right, well, I might have to do it a few times then, you know. But I don't necessarily want to like every show because that is, I don't know, it's his thing, and it's like.
Sure.
But I feel blessed to be like in his band now. Like I'm doing some festivals with him next month and going on tour in Florida with him in November. So
Okay.
feeling blessed to just be with him, and it's been really good for my career even too, you know, like getting all these connections at venues, and then they like the harmonica playing or whatever, like come back with your band, you know. So
Oh, the harmonica playing reminds me. I did want to ask sort of your big inspirations. If I think of harmonica playing, then you know playing guitar, piano, I think Bob Dylan. I don't know.
I'm a big Bob Dylan fan. I wouldn't like his harmonica maybe is not like the most inspiring, I guess, to me, but like I don't play like that, I guess, because I do like a lot of blues harmonica. I mean, I've been doing a lot of different stuff, you know, jazz and country harmonica too. Like with that Bar J tour was mostly Western harmonica, going for like the Willie Nelson harp player, Mickey Raphael sound and stuff. But there's Little Walter, you know, he's like a blues legend harmonica player. It's like if you're gonna be a real harmonica player, you gotta know Little Walter. There's Sonny Boy Williamson's one of my favorites. There's a Big Walter too, which is kind of funny, and they're both so good, really. Kim Wilson, he's still alive too, and he's one of the best harp players alive right now. Kim Wilson and the Thunderbirds, like they're insane.
Does a Big Walter and a Little Walter imply a medium-sized Walter out
There
there
should
somewhere?
be. Maybe I should be Medium Walter. You know, maybe I should change my name.
All right, so you got the Good Man from Reno tour coming up, which we will disclose dates and locations that you're playing. What else is going on for you in the future here?
I haven't mentioned it anywhere yet, but I do have a tour in August coming up with my band, about 2.5 weeks. We're gonna be coming. Let's see, all over Northern Cali, really. I think it's mostly just kind of bouncing a lot in Northern Cali. We might come through Reno. Actually, in July I'll be back in Reno to play. I have some like Northern Cali shows, and then I'll be coming to Reno on my way back, playing at the picnic on. I can't remember the date right now, but sometime in July.
We'll be
stay
sure to
tuned.
promote that.
Yeah.
On the Reno Live
Yeah,
calendar.
I'll shoot you all the date.
I want just to let you have a chance to let people know where you prefer them they find you.
Instagram, J-Rad Cooley. Yeah, you can find me there on Instagram or Spotify. You know, trying to get those Spotify numbers up. So you know, if you want to go listen to me there, that'd be cool too. But I mean, the Instagram, that's probably the easiest place to find me. And from there, I have like my link tree. You can go and find my Spotify and my everything else, you know, all right there. So
For anyone who's never been to a J-Rad Cooley show before, what can they expect to see? What are they going to walk away and take away from?
I hope they get to see the circus and feel like they got that kind of a performance or something, you know. But I mean, I hope that I could, like, really, one of my goals is to, I don't necessarily have a goal to be like the best harmonica player, the guitar player or anything. It's like, I just want to write really good songs, you know, and like almost have them like relate with people, you know, like in a way, like they can hear this song, hear the words, and like I've felt that way too, you know, like,
Yeah.
and that's one of my goals, you know, and I like to think, yeah, you know, some people have left some shows like feeling inspired like that, like, man, like that song like really touched me or something, you know?
Yeah. Try to connect with the people.
Yeah.
I love it.
You could see any artist, living or dead.
Living or dead. Oh man. Blind Willie McTell. There's just one guy and a guitar, but that's who I would see. That's my biggest hero in the world. I don't really play like him or anything, but I'll listen to him all day and I just love him, you know, like he's a, you know, blues picking guitar player. I've never been much of a finger picker, to be honest, but I've always just loved his style and his voice and like how he, I don't know, he does like a lot of like ragtime and stuff like that on the guitar too. So I'm a big fan of that.
Like the attitude.
Yeah, I love his music. I'll go back and listen. Sometimes it's like, oh, like it never gets old. It's just one guy and his guitar, but like it never gets old to me. You know.
Nice. Well, J-Rad, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us.
Thank you guys.
Really
I
good
appreciate
getting to know
y'all
you.
having me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Great to be in Reno.
Best of luck on the tour. You can catch J-Rad Cooley playing probably today. This is coming out on the 20th of May at the Reno Bar and Grill, I believe at 7 p.m. On the 21st at the Lodge, starting at 5:30. And then a 3-night stay in Truckee at Moody's Bistro, I believe 7 o'clock or 7:30 on the Friday and Saturday show. Check out his single, Good Man from Reno. That's out on all platforms. And hopefully we'll see you back here.
Yeah, I'd love to come back in. Reno's been good to me, so.
Yeah, definitely reach out to us if you're coming in July or August on the tour. We'd love to have you back.
I will be back in July, so I'll probably reach out.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Thank y'all.
Rock on Reno.
Rock on Reno.